Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Insane Gorilla. Now, this is what if Belle Cranell was a hybrid. Now, a quick shout out to Ravenclaw to this. I believe that was him anyway. You were almost correct, my friend. Belle and Liz Cranells, they both are human. It's just that the demons are sort of monsters in the dungeon. So, yes, I know the demons and the angels that rebelled created Sanctuary, yada yada yada. If you're interested in that, go and read the lore. Anyway, where we. Well, the reason why they are hybrids is because I just fancied it. So, don't get your knickers in a bunch. So, yeah. As we left off, sorry. Eyes. Not eyes, Belle and Liz Cranell go to a hotel room after Eyes Wallenstein tells them that she will come to see them to give them a tour of Arario. Now, they had to stay there for a lot longer, 5 days to be precise. As Liz gets fed up and says, oh, screw this, I am going to see this goddess Loki to give her a piece of my mind. I don't care if she's a god. We're mercenaries that like things to be paid on time. We gave her quite a decent amount of time to get the money ready. As Belle perks up, saying, Liz, it's not really our responsibility to constantly harass the client. We gave her plenty of time, and now that she hasn't paid up, we double it. And if she doesn't still pay it, we say, right, it's just gone up one, it's now going to go up another one. So, unless you want to be bankrupt for your whole familia, pay up. As soon as he says that, Ives Wallenstein walks up and says, I'm sorry I'm late. I've been in the dungeon collecting gems, well, to pay off the debt that we owe you. I do thoroughly apologise for the quite lengthy delay. Loki now has the money. We can get going whenever you want. But I will say this, she is a bit cranky today. I don't know why. As Liz perks up saying, most probably because she realizes that two mercenaries that cost a living fortune to hire have now just knocked on her door and upped the bill because she's kept them waiting for too long. As Belle perks up again saying, Liz, stop it with the attitude. Please, Miss Eyes, can you take us to her? As Eyes nods her head, saying, sure, follow me. Now, Liz, as Belle talks, quit with the attitude and as he accidentally bumps into somebody. As he looks to his side, saying, sorry ma'am, I didn't see you there. And she says, it's alright, just please watch where you're going next time. As she just asks them, have we met before? As Liz and Belle both say, "Yes, man, you have seen us before. We were with Goddess Loki." "Oh, so you must be the two mercenaries she's been speaking of," as Hestia chimes up. As they say, "Yes, we are." As Hestia says, "I hope you're not these this golden warrior gag that people have been going on about. 6 months, and they've garnered a reputation of the biggest crooks I can ever find for how expensive they are." As Bill just gets a little bit agitated, saying mercenaries don't work for cheap. They only get expensive as when people don't actually pay them the right amount and always delay, saying, yeah, we'll get you the money. And after a few days and the money still hasn't arrived, they charge extra for delays. That, as she says, that doesn't make it right, though. As Liz perks up, saying, "Would you like it if somebody refused to pay you the right amount on the rent of any building around here?" And Hestia immediately shuts up as Bill and Liz walk away. Eventually, running up to find Sonnenstein as a lady with red hair with cat-like ears walks out of a building. As I says, "Goddess Loki, they're here." As Belle and Liz still look at each other, as Liz just shrugs, saying, "I have no idea. Gods are gods." As Loki just says, "And does that have a problem to do with you? I choose to look like what I want to look like." As Belle sort of talks, saying, just laughs, saying, "Yeah." Well, to his sister, whispering, saying, "Yeah, says the girl who was as flat as a pancake a few weeks ago. Well, a few days ago." As Liz sort of chuckles, as Loki says, "And what's so funny? Would it be because I wasn't as bouncy, bouncy aroundy 5 days ago when you first met me? Please don't tell me that was it, because otherwise you two will need to get your heads out of the gutter. Now, here's your payment." As she gives them the money, as it's virtually 5 grand each, just to put it in perspective. As Liz and Belle count it up, saying, "That's perfect. You've just reached our actual agreement this time, Loki. Pray you do not have to meet our demands again." As they both walk off, with Loki saying something under her breath, with Belle catching it, as he just simply glares at her. As, well, Loki just whispers to Eyes, saying, "Watch them carefully, Eyes. I want you to follow them. I don't care that if they go out the city, you follow." As well, Belle and Liz continue walking. They walk throughout the city, seeing different places, seeing what kind of spectacular wonders there are, even going to the Colosseum where there's a show going on. There's the animal familiar, the ones who collect all the animals for shows and that. Can't remember the guy's name. As they just, Everybody just cheers, encore, and all that. As Belle just simply scoffs and gets up and walks away, leaving Liz to thoroughly take in the show. As Belle walks off, a guy, bumps into him and takes the money, his money. As Belle quickly notices this, he says, "Oi, give that back." And this guy sort of sticking his middle finger up, saying, "Come and get it, buddy." As well, he runs off, with Belle following quickly behind. After a few hours of running, this guy heads into the forest, with Belle quick behind, hot on his heels. And this is where this guy suddenly stops, with Belle running up behind him, saying, "What? Finally decided to stop running?" As this guy says, "I think we're perfectly far enough away from the city. Now, boys. As a whole group of rough men who look like they have seen combat in their time leap out of literal, literally leap out of the woodwork. Literally leap out of the woods, sorry. As Belle finds this intriguing, she says, "Ah, so that's why you took my money." As he grabs Solar and, starts fighting. Anyway, as I was saying, sorry about the interruption. Belle grabs hold of Solar, starts fighting with these group of men. By the way, I know this is the end of sounder really, really overkill, but instead of like 5 people, it's around about like 50. As he starts fighting them off, the clashes being heard throughout the forest. As this gets somebody's attention, as she rushes through the forest, trying to find out what happened, or what's happening. And she stumbles upon, a battle between 50 men and one guy. As this one person seems to be holding his own, knocking, clearly cleaving guys in two with the strength of his weapon. As she observes him grabbing it by its handle and then throwing it, as it skewers 2 other people and sends them into a tree. With him then going hand to hand with them, as some of them he actually, breaks their necks and then throws them into their buddies. And sort of does a Doomslayer thing where he just stamps on their faces and it kills them. As she is intrigued by his strength, but also starts seeing a lot more people walk through the forests with what looked like bow and arrows and crossbows and bows. As he deals with the last, as Belle deals with the last one before heading towards the boss, he grabs Solar out of the 2 people he skewered. As he raises his weapon up, saying, "Is that really the best you got?" As this guy sort of laughs, maniacally, I might add, saying, "Haven't you realized something by now? While you were fighting, people were getting into position." Pepper him, lads, as he quickly ducks as Bell gets hit in the shoulder by an arrow. This causing him to stagger as he says, "An arrow. Archers. Fun," as he yanks the arrow out and just drops it to the side. As he says, "If you've only just brought one guy with a bow and arrow, you're seriously underestimating my ability to fight." As he gets hit 2 more times, as he staggers back, ripping both of them out again, saying, "Okay, so he's got more than just one, but how many?" And this is where his eyes go wide as his vision goes blurry. As he, looks down to see that he's got roughly around about 10 to 20 arrows within his body, and he didn't notice that he was hit until just then. As he starts coughing up blood, he says, "Okay then." A lot of pain. "If that's the way you want to play this game, then I'll burn this whole forest to the ground." As he sort of lunges Solar forward while still holding on to it, as suddenly a beam of red hot light comes shooting out of it as he swipes it across, catching half of the forest on fire. Well, the part of the forest where it was on fire. The smoke quickly billowing up so that Aurorio's city wall defences could see it as they ask for a bunch of adventurers to go out there. And coincidentally enough, it's Eyes, Bet, Tiona, I think they're the two twins, the Amazon twins, and Liz. As they all go running towards the smoke. As they, going back to Bell, as he's actually still fighting and still getting hit with arrows. Eventually, after a few hours, he deals with the last archer as he skewers the man in the ribcage who stole his money as he takes it back. But this man also got a strike off on him as well. He stabbed him straight in the chest with a sword. But it's just not your average sword. As before the guy passes, he whispers in his ear, "Do not be afraid, brother," as he falls to the floor. As Bell starts hobbling along, he hears people running to say, "What the hell happened here?" As Liz then sees Bell as she shouts, "Bell, no!" as she quickly runs up to him. As Eyes also runs up to him along with Bet, Tiana and Tiona, and, the girl who's actually watching him fight to begin with. As 3 more bandits turn up as this girl with a cloak on turns around with a bow and arrow and fires 3 arrows, killing all 3 of them. With Bet saying, "Nice shot," as she says, "Shut up and focus on him." As Bell continues hobbling towards them as they all still run up to him. As well, eventually Liz sees him drop Solar as it hits the ground, as he also falls. With her shouting, Belle, please stay with me. I can't risk losing you now. We've come so far. As, well, Belle still hits the floor. Hard. Be aware he still has the arrows and the sword in him still. So he ain't gonna get up no matter how hard you try to shake him awake. Eventually, well, with his last dying breaths, he says, Liz, listen to me. Take the money. Head back to the village. Try to make people's lives there better place. Better for people to live. And I'll always love you, sister. I always will. As he, well, dies. With Bet, Tiana, Eyes, and the girl who was with them all crowd around him as Liz, well, as any ordinary girl would do, well, sister would do if they just lost their brother, lets her heart out of nothing but tears and sobbing. As, well, Eyes, because Eyes had a coat on her, just simply takes off the coat and lays it across him, covering his face. And beware, she couldn't see his face because he had a helmet on. But she still did it anyway, out of respect. As Bet sort of says, so one guy did all this damage. There must be roughly around about 100 people here. Or more. He must have been one great warrior. He was more than a great warrior, Bet, as I sort of chimes up. He was one of the golden warriors. As Bet sort of chuckles and says, yeah, right, the Hocus Pocus group of people. As Eyes says, no, it was just two of them. Brother and sister. As Bet says, yeah, oh, come on, Eyes. You can't really believe that, can you? As Liz gets up and soccer punches Bet in the mouth. And she says, how dare you? Me and my brother. We're a good team. We lost our mother due to somebody stabbing her. We lost our father to this so-called black dragon. And yet you have the balls to say something like that. I don't know who's more pathetic. You or the bandits who ended up kidnapping Eyes Wallenstein over there. You know what? Scratch that. You Bet is your name, right? As Bet just says, yeah, that's my name. And I ain't pathetic, as Liz snaps back saying, shut up, pup. You are pathetic. And she sort of looks towards her brother as she picks him up. And she says, I'm taking him back home. As, well, before she could leave, she suddenly feels no weight as she looks down to see nothing but Eyes' coat left. As even, well, Eyes, well, Eyes, Bet, Tiona, Tiara, and the woman who was there are all standing there speechless. His Eyes then breaks the silence, saying, Where did he go? Nobody can just disappear like that. His Bet just says, Well, I'll be damned. Talk about disappearing act. And let's skip over to somebody else, shall we? As, well, somebody says, clutches her chest, as she says, What happened? The song of you two has been shattered. What happened to you, Belle? Liz, what happened? And she, well, as somebody says, Nereus, what's wrong? And she looks up, saying, as she sees a guy standing there, and she says, I just have this aching pain that something terrible has happened. Permission to see for my own eyes what's happened, sir. Tyrael. And that's where I'm leaving it, boys and girls. I hope this actually throws you through a bit of a loop. Tyrael? That sounds suspicious. Yes, I am bringing the angels up in this. Because, fuck it. Anyway, guys, if you like, comment, subscribe. See ya. Peace.